it's a journey that's taking place. The journey from nothing to everything, and we're moving along that line from nothing to everything. And where it stands very much today is that it's an enhancement. It's a tool that you utilize. It's not a replacement. It's not something that's going to be able to just take over your job for you or do, 190, 80, 70% of your job. One of the really healthy ways that I think about it, or that I encourage other people to think about it, is most of us are in a work environment where we're doing a lot of typing on computers or we're dealing with computers. And a really healthy metric to think of is keystrokes. And so how many keystrokes are you doing on a regular basis or a daily basis? And does the utilization of AI allow you to reduce the number of keystrokes that you're doing? And if you're able to reduce the number of keystrokes based on the tool or tools that you're using, then you're moving in the right direction. And that is a positive gain that it's been able to give you.
Yeah. I'm curious, we talk about it's an enhancement and not a replacement, but I think about who is it going to enhance the most? And as you're thinking about career, people entering the industry, who's going to be best set up to succeed with AI as an enhancement? So is it the specialists out there? Is it the generalists out there? How can people set themselves up to be able to really excel by using AI, in your opinion?
Yeah. Today, anybody who is doing things involving reading and writing can take advantage of it right now. And for the ability to be able to digest or analyze or look at large volumes of documents or information and be able to synthesize that into a different form, or getting assistance on writing things, or like I said, reducing keystrokes, those folks can implement it and utilize it immediately. I think there's also some utility on gaining strategy, decision-making, management abilities. The caution on that is don't rely solely on AI to do that job for you. And I think there's pitfalls on folks that are relying in high-level positions who are relying too heavily on what an AI bot is telling them and what kind of impact that might issue for them. I mean, looking down the road, and this sounds cheesy, sounds corny, but I think it's true, is that for a long time, land professionals would say, well, a computer robot's never going to do my job because it can't read handwriting. Or it's never going to be able to do my job because it can't interact with other people. And we've already seen examples as to how those are happening, and they're happening really well. And the takeaway that I've gained over the last couple of years is that we can never use the phrase or the word never again.
Yeah.
So we can never say never again.
It's
Everything
the same thing
is possible now.
Same thing your dad taught you, never say never.
Yeah.
And you got to understand.
I mean, it's real. I mean, like today we're talking about desk work, right? With reducing keystrokes and looking at things in a digital formation. But even down to up to like the ability of out in the field, humanoid robots are going to be a thing. Like that is going to happen. It's already happening. And just depending on the perspective that you see on it, like there was a marathon in China and 20 some humanoid robots ran the race, and most of them didn't even finish it. And people looked at that and laughed and pointed and said, see how clumsy, see how stupid they are. They're never going to be able to get this. Well, I look at that situation and go, are you kidding me? You had over 20 humanoid robots that attempted to run a race, and some of them finished it. Like, next year, crazy. Do you think that they're, the same thing is going to happen? Absolutely not. I mean, they're going to learn these things exponentially faster than what most people realize. So,
I guess what we got to ask
ourselves, going to help, it's everybody.
Yeah. Well, we have to ask ourselves, is the clerk of court in Tyler County, Texas, going to allow a humanoid robot in there? And that's the thing. I mean, I think you nailed it. You have to open your mind and have to understand that things are going to change. But the fact is, you look back at the land business 40 years ago, and they're different today. The jobs of today aren't the jobs of 40 years ago. And 40 years from now, they're not going to be
what we're doing today. So you have to understand that, and it has to be an enhancement to what you do and to what you bring as a human, that human element. From a leadership kind of standpoint, you hit on how people are using it as a thought companion. We spent a lot of time focusing on how can I use this as a thought companion? What are the proper prompts? Are you doing crit analysis? Yeah, but the crit plus question, don't trust, use it to be able to bounce ideas off of you. And there's value in that. I use it. A lot of our leaders use it to kind of help solve bigger problems. But you can't depend on it. We're seeing that kind of conflict now with certain professions and use of AI. You see it in the legal space, you see it in all those places. But I think when you really start to boil it down to how can I get an hour out of my week? How can I get one more hour of time to focus on what's the most important thing for my job, the one thing, right? That's where you really start to plant the seed. And I think that's what we're starting to see now is like, oh, I'm in land administration. I have to, key in these documents into a system. How can I take a skill to read this document and get 70% of the work done that's 95% accurate? So I can spend my 30% of the time focusing on what's really important and the things that, I'm not comfortable with the system doing. And that's when you start to really get the value and the most out of that person. They're taking all their experience, they're taking circumstance, they're taking what they know and have learned in a meeting earlier in the week with their team and applying it to their job. Whereas before they had 70% of noise just doing task. And I think that's how we're going to evolve in the land business.